Good morning, Earthlings. Aaron here, aka AJ, aka Papa. It is April the 8th, 2020, and I'm back with another vlog to feast your eyes and ears indubitably upon my sweet little morsels of good intent, love, and light. It is day 100 of 100 Days of Zen, and I just cannot believe it. I can't believe I'm here. Later on tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with this and what I've learned from it. So I'm going to keep this short for now, but I wanted to show you guys really quick what the setup for the live show looks like. It's really rinky-dink and I threw it together last minute, but here it is. And we'll talk to you guys in a little bit about my experience with 100 Days of Zen. And then also I'm going to reserve the video from the Facebook live show and put that up as well, so you guys can take a look at that if you should choose. I love you guys. So here we go. Here's the piano, my lighting. I didn't turn those on purpose, but, and then my ring light. And then I've got not only my keyboard, but my laptop, my tablet, and then of course I have my phone in my hand. Got a speaker for some amplification, notes and set list, all of my music on the side, and tons of music down there should I need it. Some random picture of somebody that I found in one of the books I got at the bookstore. She's gonna keep me company while I do that. I can't bear to throw it away. Anyway, so that's the setup, guys, and I'm gonna chat at you guys a little bit later. Hey guys, how's it going? So I chatted with you guys a little bit earlier, and then I did my live show, which was so much fun. I sang for about an hour and just hung out on the internet with people on Facebook. It was a lot of fun. I reconnected with people I haven't talked to in a long time, sang a lot of stuff I haven't sung in a long time. Yeah, it was a good time. I uploaded that video to Facebook, and then I also uploaded it to YouTube. Luckily, I'm not monetized because I already got a copyright claim against the video from He Lives in You, because Disney, they're psychopaths. They literally must have like hundreds of thousands of employees that just search the internet for things that pertain to them. It's insane how quickly they act upon things. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. It was still a lot of fun, and none of my videos are monetized, so it doesn't, you know, it affects me not at all, and it didn't require of me that I delete anything, so that's that. But I will keep that in mind for the future. I hadn't really thought about the fact that I was singing songs that were copywritten by other people, so I'll have to keep that in mind if ever I should want to do a show that's like really that is something that I'm wanting to like publish or something to that effect. I'll have to get an ASCAP membership and like pay my dues and do all that stuff, so something to keep in mind. Although I think as far as live shows go, especially like live streaming them, we're just gonna keep it, you know, in my Facebook family and keep it pretty, you know, easygoing. And it may be that I put them up on Facebook, but I don't upload them to YouTube. YouTube's a whole nother beast, but anyway, I digress. Today marks 100 days that I've vlogged every day. The project that I undertook was 100 Days of Zen. It was what I decided to call it. And I wanted to just touch base with you guys since this was the 100th day, and just kind of talk to you a little bit about what I learned by doing 100 Days of Zen. And I learned a lot, and these things that I learned are just kind of some bullet points. They're not everything I learned, obviously. It would be exhaustive and probably an hour-long video if I tried to explain the entire experience to you guys, but I did want to touch upon the big things that I learned, and then also wanted to kind of tell you what the channel is going to look like moving forward. The first thing I learned from doing, and sorry, my nose is itching a little bit. The first thing that I learned from 100 Days of Zen is that 100 days is a really long time. And when I set out to do this, I remember thinking to myself, oh, how many days of Zen should I do? Oh, 100 days, I bet you that's really easy. And the reason why I chose 100 days was because people were doing a challenge called 100 Days of Yoga. And my initial concept was to do numerous Zenful things daily throughout the course of 100 days. Well, I set out to do that, and I did succeed in completing 100 days of daily vlogging. And my original concept was to do a quote from people who were spiritual leaders every day and then expand upon the quote. And I did that for probably 3/4 of the way through. So the first thing I learned, 100 days is a long time. Number 2 that I learned is discipline is a practiced skill, and it affects all areas of your life. And so what I learned is that when you practice discipline in one area of your life, it affects all areas of your life. And so I practiced discipline in the way of me doing this and doing something, never fail, every day for 100 days. And some other things I tried to take on while I was doing it, and those things fell by the wayside. And you know, I tried to add things to it, but the bottom line was the baseline of what I said I would do, I did for 100 days. And it really did affect my life in numerous ways. That discipline kind of taught me that, you know, I really have to make up my mind to do something and to not take on too much, you know, because discipline is great and it's wonderful, but if you try to pile on too much, it makes things more difficult. If you want to succeed at things, it's better to succeed at one thing first and then add other things after you've succeeded. Number 2 is that discipline is a practice skill that affects all areas of your life. And I'm really pleased to say that I, you know, learned what discipline means, which has not always been my strong suit, but this has taught me a lot about that. Number 3, the third thing that I learned, that Zen is nothing magical per se. It's a decision to feed yourself good things every day. When I say Zen isn't magical, I just mean it's not some like magical experience that you achieve and then it's with you for forever, and it's not some sort of like aha moment that awakens you and then your life is different after that. You do achieve certain heightened moments, but it is a daily practice of feeding yourself good things that make you feel good and that keep you aligned on a daily basis. That is what Zen is. Choosing every day to try to look at positivity or things that enlighten you or things that raise your vibration on a daily basis. That is what Zen, or being zenful of mind, really is all about. And I think that entering into this, I don't really know that I thought very much about what Zen meant. It was a great word. It was a catchy word to use for the project. And I think it was an appropriate word though, and I feel like I learned a lot about that. Number 4 is that it's important to prioritize your time, because there's only so much of it. And so this happened to me numerous times throughout 100 Days of Zen, right? I would say, okay, I'm doing this 100 Days of Zen, but now I want to add yoga into there, and I want to diet on top of that, and I want to do my languages every day, and I want to read every day, and I want to make music every day. And before I knew it, like, my life was so piled up with things that needed to be done every day that I started to feel overwhelmed, and then I would feel myself wavering, and I was not in a zenful place because I was so stressed out about trying to get everything done in a day, and work 2 jobs, and, you know, run a household and do all of these things that are so very important. I learned pretty early on in 100 Days of Zen that I would have to let some things slide and just do my best on some things and prioritize what was the most important. And for me, it was like I decided that I was going to do 100 Days of Zen, and I needed to see that through from start to finish. And I think that when I realized that it was okay for me to pick things up and try it and then set it back down if it wasn't working, that was a big aha moment. And that didn't necessarily mean that I was a failure or that I wasn't capable, but it just meant that due to the place in life that I was at and the constraints of time that I had to prioritize what was the most important. Number 5, the 5th thing that I learned, is that it's okay to fail at things, and I'm not perfect, nor will I ever be. And I think, I can't really remember exactly what day it was, but there was a day that I uploaded the video, and frequently I'd have to go through my phone and delete things out to make space for new video and whatnot. And I just went through and deleted everything out and emptied out my delete folder and everything. And when I went to put the next day's video in, I realized that it had not uploaded correctly, and it was like errored and therefore did not exist. And I almost had a full-on breakdown about it because that meant that there was a day missing, and it took me a minute to wrap my head around it and to realize that, you know, just because it's not there doesn't mean that I didn't do it, and just because I don't have the documentation of it doesn't mean that I can't feel good about the fact that I still did it every day. Mistakes are going to happen, especially in this type of technological stuff. Technical things are going to happen, and there's just not really anything that I can do to change it. Once the data's gone, it's gone, and that's okay. You know, I'm going to miss days, just not to make a habit of it and not make excuses. You know, what happened happened. I only have one day missing from the 100 days, and I think that's pretty amazing. And it's not because I didn't do it, it's just because it just didn't upload correctly. And the other thing as far as perfection goes is that probably about 3/4 of the way through, I started running out of quotes to do, and I would do research and not come up with anything new, and I started getting frustrated about that, and then I started getting tired, and during times where I was piling too much upon myself, I would falter and not have a quote at all, or not even really vlog for the day, but just like at the end of the day be like, I'm here, I'm uploading because I said I would upload, but I don't have actual content. I'm just tired and I'm just doing the very best that I can. At first that felt like a cop-out, but then later on I realized that it wasn't, because a cop-out would have been for me to say, well, I'm too tired, I'm going to bed, and tomorrow I'll just apologize about it. But instead of doing that, I made sure that I was consistent. That's a win. That's a hardcore win. So it's okay to fail at things, and I'm not perfect, and I think that I still will always struggle with that for my whole life, because I just am a perfectionist and I want to be the best that I can be in anything that I ever tried to do. I did learn how to roll with things a little bit more with the 100 Days of Zen, so I'm grateful for that. Number 6 is that it's never about accolades, it's about the love. What you make for the purposes of accolades will never satisfy you, but what you make from love needs no accolade. So when I started this project, I started it because I wanted to create a community, and what I found out early on is that I was not getting very many views, and I thought to myself, well, then why am I doing this? And I had to really think about it, and I really had to determine whether or not I was trying to create something for the purposes of being a successful YouTuber, or was I trying to create something because I wanted to create it and because I felt a passion for what I was doing. And at the end of the day, I found myself feeling passionately about it, and whether or not the community ever comes, and whether or not I create this and it just sits out in the universe, it's something that I can be proud of, and it's something that I feel passionately about, and it needs no accolade because I love it. And anything that I step into thinking that it needs accolade will never satisfy me. I'll never be satisfied with it, because it doesn't matter if I have 100 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers. Those numbers can always be bigger, and a lot of people, a lot of marketing persons will tell you this. It doesn't matter how many you have, you could always have more. And you'll never be satisfied if you don't do it for the right reasons. So I learned that early on, and I'm grateful for that, because I think that if I would have continued to search for the numbers and really search for being successful YouTube wise, it wouldn't have lasted for very long. And I also, became very aware that there's just a massive community of people out there creating content, and each one is valid in their own right, and each one is creating things that are that are their passions, and I respect that, and I love that about YouTube, and I will continue to do it because it's a good thing for me. It helps me stay creative, and it helps me stay focused on things that make me feel better. So that is probably the biggest thing that I learned, is that it's not about the feedback that you get, it's about the love that you put into it. So feedback's great, and positive feedback's amazing. The reality is if my YouTube channel blew up tomorrow, I would get probably just as much hate as I would get positive feedback. And that's just the nature of the internet. Sometimes you have to put things in perspective and say, you know what? Maybe I don't have 100,000 subscribers, but I also don't have the drama that comes along with that either. Maybe it's just nice to create in my own little corner of the internet, and the people who need to see it will see it. You know, and the other thing to remember too is that I didn't promote this at all. You know, I didn't want to become one of those people who pushed my channel on every person I spoke with. If somebody asked me about it, I would tell them about it and say, here's where it's at, and if you want to see it, that's cool. But I did not, you know, I did not post my videos every day on Facebook. I did not, you know, get on Reddit and start pushing myself all over the place. I did not promote. I did not seek sponsorship. I did not put money into marketing. I didn't do any of that stuff. And maybe if I had the money to do that, or the energy or the time to do that, I might be a little bit more successful. But I think that my success is felt in the goodness that I feel in doing it, and I will be satisfied with that. And I believe that if I'm satisfied with that and I do it for the right reasons, that someday I'll have that little community of folks that I am hoping for, and I'll have that dialogue that I am searching for. I can wait. I can be patient for it. So those are the 6 major things that I learned about from doing 100 Days of Zen. And with that being said, it has been my great pleasure to do this project. And when I came towards the end of it, I started thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Because I'm not going to continue to vlog every day because it's too like life consuming, and I want to take on other projects outside of YouTube. But so I became, you know, started thinking about what's it going to look like for me moving forward, and this is what I came up with, and this is how we're going to start moving forward. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stay that way. I'm still a baby. This channel is still in its infancy. The long-term setup for this channel, I don't know. It may be that I end up only doing it once a week. Right now I'm shooting for 3 times a week. And before that, I thought I would be a daily vlogger. And I can tell you right now, I know I probably will never be a daily vlogger other than Vlogmas. I will definitely do Vlogmas every year. Music Monday is going to be a thing. So every Monday, I'm going to upload video where I talk music, write music, sing music, anything to do with music. I might review an album, I might review lyrics, I might talk about a song that has particularly affected me, I might write something right there for you guys to watch me create. I might just post a video of me singing a song that I've written newly. I might talk about songwriting, I might talk about music creativity. But Music Monday, so any and all things that encompass music, I'm gonna do on Mondays. And so you can be looking for that starting this next upcoming Monday. So between now, today is Wednesday, I will be taking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and then I'll be back with you guys on Monday for Music Monday. And then after that, we will have Wondrous Wednesdays. So Wondrous Wednesdays is all about things in your life that you are grateful for, that bring you wonder, that bring you amusement, that bring you joy. This is where I would still bring in this kind of Zenful mindset, where I have read things or come across things that inspire me, people that inspire me. I may talk about other artists that inspire me. I may talk about you know, spirituality. These are things that bring me wonder, that bring my heart a sense of wonder and a sense of joy, and I will talk about those things and or bring those things to your attention every Wondrous Wednesday. And then my other passion will happen on Friday. It's Good Food Friday. Friday, I will bring to you all things that I love about food. So we will talk recipes, we will talk food that we enjoy, we'll talk diet, because I'm very, very interested in diet, and not just veganism, but all diet altogether. I have a stack of diet books that I would love to talk about, read through, and kind of review. And then I just want to talk about food things in general. The American diet, I want to talk about fast food, I want to talk about so many things. I've also been thinking that on New Food Fridays. I've got a couple of books that I thought maybe we could read through together, chapter by chapter, talk about and discuss. So that is the setup. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 days a week for sure. And if I should choose to vlog in between, I will do that. And but we won't make that a set part of the schedule, but I will vlog here and there and pop in and out whenever I feel like it. But you can be sure that you will see videos from me on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that's it, guys. 100 Days of Zen is over. I'm so grateful. I have to say a huge, big, just like amazing thank you to Zachary, who's, you know, put up with this extra amount of time that I've been spending focused on other things. He had often teased me and called it 100 Days of Misery or something like that. I can't remember, but it was hilarious, you know. But I have to say thank you to him for putting up with a project like this, and he always typically rolls with the punches of, you know, whatever like time drain that I'm wanting to sink my time into. He's really good about that. My mom, Triva, who I affectionately call Muma, has been so supportive. She's watched almost every video that I've ever made. She even created herself a YouTube account so she could comment on things. And she's also given me really valuable feedback each and every time I post a video. She's given me, you know, quality feedback on things, and always supported me and always comforted me when I felt like I wasn't gonna make it or wasn't doing as good as I could. And I'm sure there's other people I need to thank, you know, but I'm just gonna keep it really simple as far as that goes, because I could go on, and this video is already gonna be about 25 minutes. So anyway, guys, with that, I'm gonna leave you. This has been a really great experience, and thank you for, you know, riding along with me. I will see you first thing on Monday, and until then, think big, dream big, and don't give up on anything you love. I'll talk to you later. Bye.